Hey everyone, let me first apologize for the background noise. I'm out and about while I'm working this afternoon. Sometimes that's the only way to get things done when you have a few little kids and things are kind of hectic at the office. But anyway, I apologize for that. Hopefully, it's not too much. I wanted to just leave a few brief comments on the Unit 2 timeline assignments that you've all worked on and completed. As a whole, as a group, these are the best timeline assignments that I have seen yet, and I've been doing this assignment for a while, so that says a lot, I think. I've been very pleased reading through your work and seeing the effort that you put into analyzing the significance of the various historical events that you were discussing. Um, so please keep up the good work. I did leave feedback for everyone here via Blackboard, so if you have any questions about the feedback that I left you, please do let me know via email or Twitter direct messages or text message or however that would be. Also, I wanted to offer the opportunity to revise Unit 2. I usually do that for the very first timeline assignment, give you the opportunity to think through historical significance a little bit more deeply and revise your entries if you missed a few points. So please do be aware that that is an option if you would like to take advantage of it. There are many, many of you who don't really need that option, but I still want to offer that for you. If you have any questions about how to do anything in Tiki-Taki especially, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to help out. Please do use the tutorial video that I created. It's in the timeline tab. It's also linked from the timeline instructions. And if that doesn't answer your questions, or if something about it is confusing, please let me know that, and I will do my best to help out. So I think those were the major issues that I wanted to talk about in terms of just logistical things. In terms of the content, no, I was wrong. There was one more sort of logistical thing I wanted to mention. Please do be sure that you always embed your outside source, your link, using the link box in Tiki-Taki. Also be sure that you use the media section to post an image or a video. When you post your image, make sure that you don't just copy the main URL of the page, so don't go to the address box in your internet browser and just copy that. Instead, you need to actually right-click, or if you're using a Mac, two-finger click on the image itself, and then choose the option to copy the image URL. So that should be, or something similar to that, should pop up as an option. And once you've copied that URL, that will be the one that you will then paste into Tiki-Taki. So hopefully that will help. Please let me know if there are any questions about that. Then finally, just about historical significance. Again, like I said, I think by and large we're doing a very good job of thinking about how the events that you're writing about fit into the larger historical context of the times in which they occurred. I mean, that's really what historical significance gets at. What impact did this event or this person or this place have on other events immediately surrounding it? In what ways did this event influence the course of other events to come? So for example, if I asked you a question like, how does this event impact the trajectory of New Mexico history? By asking that in the feedback that I gave you, what I'm getting at is trying to get you to think about how does this relate to the historical context in which the event occurred. So think about that when you're talking about historical significance. There's no like one right answer for how to describe historical significance because you can take it a number of different ways. The historical significance section of the post is where you do the most analysis, where you think through, why is this important? How did it fit into its time, and how did it impact other things? And of course, because history is based on multiple perspectives, there are a number of different ways that you could take that. So again, I can't just tell you, this is the historical significance of this, you got it wrong. That's not what I'm talking about. But instead, just make sure that you've provided that kind of analysis, that you've thought things through to that degree in your post. If you haven't answered the question of why does this matter or who cares, then you haven't really addressed historical significance. So that's maybe a shorthand way to think about it. Also, think about the idea, or keep the idea in mind that just because something was the first to happen, just because Oñate, for example, was the first to colonize New Mexico successfully, that in and of itself, being first, does not necessarily make it significant. Also, just because something still exists today, or the tradition is still around today, that in and of itself is not significant. You have to explain, why does it matter that it's still here today? Or why did it matter that Oñate was the first to successfully colonize New Mexico? Hopefully that helps. Please let me know again if you have any questions about that. Finally, just thinking ahead to the connection step, which I'm still working on providing feedback for. But for your connection step, make sure that you've made a connection rather than a comparison. So it's really easy to make historical comparisons. Juan de Oñate, he was a conquistador, he was the last conquistador, so he's kind of like Hernán Cortés. They were both conquistadores, they both conquered different places in what became New Spain. That's a comparison. Try to find a connection. So Hernán Cortés connects directly to the Tlaxcalan people. Those were the indigenous allies that he was able to persuade to help him in his conquest of the Aztecs. Or Juan de Oñate directly connects to the Battle of Acoma, or the Acoma Revolt, because he was the one who cracked down so violently on that revolt. He had a direct hand in it, or at least there was a direct connection. So try to find those kinds of things for the connection, rather than just make a comparison. And as I've said elsewhere, that means that if there isn't a post on the I almost said discussion board, if there isn't a post on the class timeline that connects very well to your own, please just find a topic from the reading or from the other materials that does connect, and write about that for the connection step. So what I'm saying, it doesn't matter if your connection appears on the timeline or not. I would rather have you make a strong connection that doesn't appear on the timeline than make a very tenuous connection that does appear on the timeline. So again, hopefully that all makes sense. I feel like it got noisier here in the last few minutes, so once again I apologize for that. I commend you for your hard work, and I think we're off to a great start this semester. I'm learning a lot from your insights, and keep it up.